You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources doing another draft with you here on MTGOacademy.com, and it is here! Finally, Konzatark here on Magic Online. This is day one when I'm drafting, so let's take a look at what we've opened. We've got quite a pack here. Sultai Ascendancy. It really fuels the whole Sultai themed deck. I don't know that you want to first pick it. It's not that powerful. It really only goes in that deck. But it is, it does do its job. Aerostorm is a card I've been super impressed by. We've got two Tri-Lands here, which are both excellent. Hooting Mandrills, I love that card. I think it's really solid. Mardu Horde Chief, don't overlook this one. This one's quite strong, can make a whole bunch of small creatures really quickly. For me, it's like Ascendancy, Aerostorm, Mandrills, something along those lines. And I don't know which one to take. I guess I'll take Mandrills here. Hell, let's just go with Ascendancy. That's what I want to be doing anyway. And we get shipped a Sultai Charm with anything else in the pack. Yes, there's a Scout the Borders, which helps out a lot as well. Embodiment of Spring is decent. Force Away I like actually more than most, but I'll take a Sultai Charm. If we're going to be Sultai, let's be Sultai. Sultai Charm's pretty good too. Destroy target monocolored creature comes up often enough. And then it's Disenchant for some annoying cards, and you can even get a little bit of card advantage out of it, which is nice too. What do we have here? Oh, hello. Yeah, all aboard. I'm treating, guys. It's on me. Treasure Cruise. Let's go. So I'm taking that because that's why I took these two cards. And hopefully we'll get something back out of this pack. There's some decent stuff. Singing Bellstrike I like a lot. Water Whirl, we love Thornwood Falls, but yeah, cruising. All right, this pack looks similar to our first one, but the Hooting Mandrills is here still. There's also a Horde Chief down here, but yeah, I'm going to take the Mandrills. I mean, look, we've got two Delve cards, a Sultai card, and a Delve Enabler. Like, this is kind of all we really want to be doing anyway. Wow, another good pack here. This is interesting. Aerostorm number 2. That card is just scary. I think it's really good. Dragon's Eye Savants is decent. It really does block well, and that is part of a big part of what you want to be doing here. Again, I mentioned I like Force Away pretty well. I really like Willie Loxodon as well. I think the best card in this pack is Aerostorm, though, by a long shot. I think it's really, really, really good. But we can't really play it. I'm not going to take a banner. Suspension Field's just okay. It's fine. Like, you'd probably play it, but it's not great. I think it's between the Savants and the Force Away, and I'm going to take the Savants here. We do need to block. Like, that is absolutely part of our game plan here, so I think I'm comfortable with that. All right, looking at this one, this one's interesting. So there's a Taigam Scheming, which you'd think would go right in a deck like this, and in fact it does, but we don't actually need it. Like, we've already got a Sultai Ascendancy to help mill, and I think we're going to probably wheel that Scout the Borders too, so I'm not interested in it. I think the cards that we want to look at here are Smoke Teller, Highland Game, and Swarm of Bloodflies. I think that those are the three most important ones for this type of deck. Swarm of Bloodflies can get out of hand fairly quickly. It's not great, though. I'd rather have a 2-drop that can get in the way, and I'm going to take Highland Game just because I think that these are pretty comparable, but Highland Game is well, it's Elmer, and also it the life gain can actually matter sometimes. Ding. We would love a Jungle Hollow, but Mandrills, again, this is part of the reason why we play this deck. Like, it's that simple. Okay, I'm going to take Team Recharger, but this is interesting. Cranial Archive. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library, draw a card. This can save you from going too deep. But right now, the way we're set up, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to take the Charger, which is just a way, way better card. Again, I don't really want a banner, but I like Disown Ancestor. It's a good way to sort of take over the late game for a reasonable fee and also keep aggressive creatures off your back early. Interestingly, it's also, I mean, look at it. It's in, what's it called? Obzon, so it kind of wants the shields up, but it can certainly go into the late. All right, so we did get Scout the Borders back, and I want it. Yeah. I think we might play it. It depends on how playables turn out, but it's a pretty good card. You get the card back, and you dump a bunch into your yard, and it can just set up Hooting Mandrills and Treasure Cruises really well. Once I pick a Sultai Ascendancy, though, like, I'm really looking to slow down the game. Like, we'll get our value later, but I'm focusing down here because I mean, this card just doesn't do anything. Like, you cast it and nothing happens. You're like, Sultai Ascendancy. They're like, sure. You're like, go. Nothing. Just nothing happens. And it's hard to cast. Like, it's 3 colors. Like, they don't make it easy on you. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Love that card. But yeah, so what you need to do is you need to build around that strategy in a way that lets the game go long and means that you can actually take a turn off from casting something that really affects the board and give you a chance to start getting value from your Ascendancy. Well, Awaken the Bear is quite strong, but I'm actually just going to take the Dreadmaw here, I think. God, Awaken the Bear is a much better card, though. Yeah, I'll take it. I think if we want to pick up a Dreadmaw, maybe we can. Now, this is fantastic. Picking up a Woolly Loxodon that late is epic. That is great. I'm putting the Scheming in the sideboard for now. Again, I'm just not a fan of the card. I don't think you need to do it. I don't think that it's something that I don't think you need to dip that low. If it replaced itself with a card, a lot of people think that it does. They read this card and they think, well, what's the problem? Like, you pay blue and you get it back and blah, 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 but you don't. You don't get the card back. It's just, you're just pitching a card basically for some selection and gets a few things in your yard. You spend 1 more mana on Scout the Borders and you're getting card selection now, and you're still filling up your yard really nicely. So yeah, I'm on board for that. All right, so what do we got here? 2 really good 4-drops, Bellowing Saddlebrute, Sultai Flare. There's also one down here with Longshot Squad that I like quite a bit too. But I'm going to take Sultai Flare here. I just think this is one of the most solid 4-drops in the set. It's just, you play it on turn 4 and it's just bigger than everything. It's just like, look, I made this, do something about it. And they usually can't. Ooh, Incremental Growth. Yes. This card is a complete blowout, especially if cast on curve. If you go 2, 3, 4 Incremental Growth, that is game. That the game just ceases to exist at that point. You are rewarded a trophy and stacks of money, and it just ends. Card is just fantastic, and I'm happy to have it, especially because, like, you pick up Dragon's Eye Savants. Doesn't say Defender on it, right? It's just a big old 06, but, you can maybe throw some counters on it to make it reasonable later, and that's pretty nice. Oh my God, yes. Now we get Necropolis Fiend too. Wow, that's fantastic. This card is an absolute house. Yeah, so that's an easy pick here. I'm looking at the rest of the pack just to see what we're giving up. Singing Bellstrike and Throttle are probably considerations. River Wheel Aerialists as well, but no way. I mean, Windmilling Necropolis Fiend. That is just too good. Looks like our deck has gotten a little out of control. This pick is actually really easy as well. It's Debilitating Injury. There's some decent stuff. Ponyback Brigade's really good. Obviously not for us. Alpine Grizzly's pretty good card too, but Debilitating Injury is it's really a top tier removal spell. It just is. Like, you get to kill their morphs. They go turn 3 morph and you play this and they're just like, oh, I'm sad now. Monastery Flock is interesting because it's easy to morph and it blocks everything. But I think Longshot Squad is probably where we want to be here. It also eventually blocks everything and kind of gets you where you want to go as far as that goes. Archer's Parapet is a card we could use, again, to sort of shore up the early game. If we want more interaction, we can take a force away. We could even play an Embodiment of Spring, but I don't think we really want it here. Oh, that was from a draft I just won. So that I think that, like, our ramp is Delve. Like, that's how we're ramping. We don't need to actually ramp. I'm going to take the Parapet here, I think. Yeah, let's take the Parapet. Armament Core we can't cast. Sagu Archer we can. Snakeskin, ugh. Yeah, Armament Core is fantastic, but we don't have any fixing at all. So, yeah, we can't cast it. I'm going to take an Archer, which helps with our fixing situation. What do we have here? A bunch of decent stuff for our deck, but nothing more important than a Dismal Backwater. We need fixing. Like, we just don't have any yet. So we're going to have to take that here. Highland Game, Smoke Teller, Scion, they're all fine. But, yeah, fixing, more important. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff back here. Scout the Borders came back, but I think the chance that we run 2 of those is very low. Sidisi's Pet is... it's not unplayable, but it's not a great card at all. We're not really a Mardu Skull Hunter deck. We're kind of not a Bellowing Saddle Brute deck either, but I think we might be able to make that work. And I'm going to take it because I think it's just the most powerful card in the pack. And we can cast it in our deck. Set Adrift, yes, please. More Delve, I'll take it. Mardu doesn't matter. What does this do? It makes it so we can't block. I might want to take that. Could take Bitter Revelation. I mean, we have one Treasure Cruise already, though. I don't know how much just card draw I want to play. I guess it is more likely that we play Bitter Revelation, though, in our deck than anything else. Krumar Bondkin, I don't love you. I don't love Scaldkin, especially if we can't activate it, so I'm going to take the Grizzly. Highland Game, sure. I like our early game. We have a lot more 2-drops than I'm used to having in this format so far, so that's pretty good. And we've also got a little over here with the 9-drop. Yeah. A lot of Delve. I think we probably do want this Scout the Borders. All right, what did we get? Well, let's see. Trail of Mystery, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of Blinding Spray either. Not a big fan of many of these. Death Frenzy might be the pick here, though. It really does just completely wipe out some decks. The other option we have is Jungle Hollow, which we need. We do need the mana fixing pretty badly. But Death Frenzy just seems like such a good, like maybe main deck, but at least sideboard card. What does it kill that we play right now? Not this, not this. It kills the 2 Highland Games and the Charger, which we're going to play some percentage of. It kills Grizzly. And then it kills any of our morphs, of course, too. I'm going to take it. I haven't actually played with it. I've only played against it, and I want to see what it does. It's one of those cards. It's like, I got to figure it out. So we're going to take it. Some really powerful stuff in this pack, but none of it for us, unfortunately. Winter Flame. We're not splashing in this deck. We don't have any fixing. If there was any dual land in our colors, we'd snap that up here. Probably just going to take a Crippling Chill, I guess. We're kind of just splashing blue at this point, and I want to keep it that way. I like Riverwheel Aerialist, but we don't really have room for it. We've got plenty of stuff to do on the high end with our mana, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to take Crippling Chill, I guess. God, there's another Arrow Storm, too. That is just getting scarier by the minute. All right, Crippling Chill, Air of the Wilds, another Scout, a Wind Scout. No, this is just Air of the Wilds, I think, pretty easily here. Air of the Wilds is fantastic. It's just, it does everything you want to do. We might be able to wheel that Crocodile, too, which I think I'd probably play. All right, what do we got here? A Frontier Bivouac, which does give us 2 of our colors. There's also a Sultai Scavenger, which, yes, we would love to play. There's an Abomination of Gudul, which we'd also love to play. It does feel like we're the only Sultai drafter at the table, though, at least from kind of feeling it out. So we might be able to take the Scavenger and wheel the Abomination. There's going to be 4 cards left in the pack, and really there's only one deck that wants this Abomination of Gudul. Abzan Guide is excellent, definitely better than Abomination, but we can't do it. I could also just play it safe and take the Bivouac here. We do have plenty to do, it feels like, with our mana. It's not like we need a Sultai Scavenger. It's just, I think I would like one more Delve creature. Yeah, let's gamble. We'll take the Scavenger. And there's another Debilitating Injury, another Treasure Cruise, but I think one is plenty. I'm going to take the Injury. We're trying to be a control deck here after all. And I think we might need to suck it up here and take this Sultai banner and maybe even play it. This is getting a little scary that we're passing so many of these. But we can't play them. I'm going to take the banner here as a backup plan for if we just don't get any other fixing at all. I think our mana is not as bad as it looks, but still I'm a little concerned. Monastery Flock? No, let's just Lux it on. Oh my god. Another incremental growth? Are you kidding? That's fantastic. God, maybe we're just more aggressive. Somehow we ended up being an aggressive deck. kind of going through the motions down the stretch here. Our fixing definitely is our number one concern. All right, there is that Kira Dreadmaw that we can play. Do we want another Scout the Borders? No, I think we want the Kira Dreadmaw against aggro decks more than a second Scout the Borders. I think we'll run the first one, though. It's gotten kind of interesting. Also, what a mess. What is Magic Online doing here? There we go. So you get over here. Both of you over here right now. Both of my 8 drops. Don't forget my 9 drop. Gotta make about 1,000 cuts out of this deck. But I think we can. I think we can. I don't want to cancel. I like that effect, but we're really splashing blue, and I think that our deck is going to sort of cling to the fact that we're splashing blue here with a backwater and maybe 3 islands, and then everything else is going to be swamps and forests. By the way, how sick is that artwork? You want to draft? I have a quick question. I am. Fire away. He said it's quick. I expect no walls of text. Okay. So there's our one fixer. I want 18 lands in this deck. Let's take the banner out. So we've got tons of cuts to make. We really need to kind of figure out where this deck wants to go. So let's move these over. We got a lot of work to do here, boys. Let's do this. Boys and girls, I should say. Here, this thing, one of those. This guy goes over here. This guy goes here. We don't want this. You know, maybe we do. I want to look at an aggressive deck. I want to see if there's actually just an aggro build here where we could just get to be super assertive. So let's just try to build that first. So we take out the Savants. We take out the Parapet. We leave all of these in. That goes in. Yes. Yes. No. No. Nope. Nope. And then we probably would just end up taking out the Ascendancy, the Scout, the Crippling Chill, and some other stuff, right? Like a couple of creatures, like maybe this guy's too slow. And this is what that deck looks like. This looks pretty good, actually. Our 4s are kind of insane. We get value. Now let's take a look at what a more mid to slow controlling deck looks like. So we play Death Frenzy in that. We play the Parapet and Scout. And we cut the pump spells. Probably at least one of the 2 drops. And then we cut some other stuff. Who knows? Oh, this thing's confused. You go here. You go here. Oh. Cool. Good luck. You may do so. If you guys want to join the clan, that's all you have to do. Just ask away. And I'll get you an invite. The only rules: you must love Magic. That part's easy. You also cannot be a jerk, which can be harder, but it shouldn't be that hard. Okay. What do I want to do here? All right, let's not main deck Death Frenzy. Let's bring that in out of the board. I want to try this build of it, though. I think this build looks more fun. I think it looks pretty powerful. I want to try, a little, and it's plenty punchy. Like, it'll get through and do some damage and stuff, too. No problem. But I kind of want to get to 18 lands. I really kind of want to get to 18 lands. So let's cut some things. Let's cut the Archer because we've already got the long shot squad, which I think is better, which is shouldn't be there. And you guys should be all right. And then these are, you know, something like that probably. And then we got double injury. We've got enough removal. I like our removal suite here. And then we've got the big fat card draw and even a bomb to get with our Scout the Border. So I like that. And, you know, we might not actually need 18 lands here. Like, with the delve that we're doing, I wonder if we even need 18. We probably do just because of our fixing, actually, now that I think about it. So that would mean cutting 2 cards. And I would probably cut an Alpine Grizzly, because that card's either very good on board or very mediocre. And if you have 2 of them, well, sometimes you're really, really good, but sometimes you just end up being mediocre, and that's no good. And maybe the Saddle Brute, which is a card that I like, but is pretty rough if you have to take the 4 damage. And our deck looks like it's trying to slow down things enough that we might actually have to do that. All right, so let's run this. We'll run this thing. I'm not going to run the banner. Let's see here. Sort by color. So we've got, as far as blue goes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blue mana symbols in the whole deck. So that's the good news. So let's add some lands here. This thing says 4. I don't think that's actually going to work. How many black mana symbols do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think we want this up and this down, and then 10 forest because we really, really need forest. So this gives us 10 green, 1, 2, 3, 4 blue, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black. Is that good enough? Obviously the green's the most important, but this feels a little bit light on black. I think we can go to 9 forest pretty easily because I want to be able to debilitating injury early here. It's a pretty big deal. And the blue is kind of take it or leave it, like Set Adrift and Treasure Cruise are way later. Sultai Charm can be way later. The only one that we want early is Sultai Ascendancy, and we'll have to take our chances with that. All right, submit. Let's see what Sultai can do.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than one event ticket.
All right, here we are for the first round. We won the die roll. Also, I want to mention that this is a release event, and they're done in Swiss, so you're going to be with me for all 3 games no matter what. We're going to figure out this Sultai deck one way or the other. I think I'm going to go ahead and play first. Yeah, this looks like a keep to me. I mean, sure, we need to hit another land or whatever, but if we do, we scout the borders into mandrills or Sultai, like we've got all types of stuff. And even then, we've got a Temur Charger to start applying pressure or trade up for something. It's not like we're just on nothing here. All right, now we want to see a swamp real bad, but yeah, just a swamp off the top one time, that would be beautiful. We can find another land with our scout the borders if needed. Looks like we've got a pretty good attack force lined up here, but let's see what our opponent does. Pretty happy to trade Temur Charger for kind of anything at this point. Oh, baby. We just get there. The big plan A. Yeah, probably going to scout the borders for lands probably, because I want to build up to this point. Meantime, horse fight, get in there. Scout. And we see all types of creatures and only 1 forest. So yeah, I'm pretty glad we did that. So growth, mandrills, Highland Game Air. Get the bin. Yeah, we would have actually had a pretty rough go here if we had just drawn all of those naturally, I think. I mean, it would be nice to have endless spells, but they would have been a bunch of 2-drops. We would have been like Highland Game Air. The second incremental growth is pretty bad. Chess Guy banner. All right. I like where this is going. Wait, can this blow that up? Yeah, it can. Interesting. In the meantime, I don't think I want to actually do that. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 in the yard. I'm going to tap out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so that we can do both. The question is just, do I want a scavenger or a mandrills? And I think I want a mandrills. Yeah. I think people sometimes get a little too excited to delve and just pay like black and then sacrifice all this stuff or get rid of all this stuff to play the scavenger. But, you know, we got to set up our next turn. We can't cast Soulchai Charm, so that's out of the question. And so we need to figure out, well, what are we doing with our next turn? And it's probably going to be scavenger. The downside of the play I did make is that it doesn't leave us with the ability to play like debilitating injury plus hooting mandrills next turn. But I think getting an extra power on the battlefield versus a Jeskai deck is better because they don't have that many things that can interact with hooting mandrills very well. And we're setting up some pretty sick sequences here. Oh, there's that guy on his motorcycle again. I mean, I've got one too, so can't blame him, but oh, Necropolis Fiend, really? Yeah, so let's just attack. He didn't do anything. He's probably just got kill shot or something like that, but maybe he's even got end hostilities and he's just being greedy. If he's going to take 7 damage on that premise, then I think I can live with that. Jeskai Charm to put mandrills back on top. Okay. Can accept this. It's a little annoying that it doesn't kill it. But drawing it again's good. I don't want to draw it again this game, but whatever. Take your medicine. So we know we're not going to draw a land, so incremental growth's off the table. But we do get mandrills, and if he kills something, then we can actually play it. And if he doesn't, then we can debilitating injury something maybe. Bring low on the scavenger, sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So mandrills is going to be back. So he's trying to manage our board, and he's doing a pretty decent job of it. The problem is this Teamer Charger is bashing him every turn for 3, like even while he's killing our other threats. And he knows this is coming. So boom, we're back up to 7 again. He's kind of spinning his wheels. What he really needs to do is find a good blocker here. Just put out some big, 4-4 or 5-5 or something like that and try to sort of shore up this situation. But it's going to be rough now. Aerostorm. All right. But again, Teamer Charger gets to keep getting in there. That draw was actually not the worst either. It didn't look good at first, but when your opponent's getting this low on life, like now he's got to find a way to deal with Archer's Parapet randomly, or it will kill him eventually too. And since we're at 20 with no pressure whatsoever, we got to feel pretty decent there. And we've had a really rough mana draw too. Remember, we scouted the borders just to find this stupid forest. Like, all right, there's Singing Bell Strike. All right, so he finally got there. The last removal spell to keep Teamer Charger down, but now he's got to deal with Parapet too. And Bondkin is not going to get the job done. Set Adrift. That's a miserable draw. Yeah, I'm just going to say go here. Debilitating Injury can kill Enoch Bondkin later if it needs to, and it might just find a much better target anyway. And I'd rather just shoot some arrows here at my opponent. Oops, geez, sorry. All right, so he's going to outlast here. Is that your whole turn? Wow, that's great. Boo. Well, that's, I think, 3 of our 4 blue cards. So if we draw a Treasure Cruise, I'll cry, but now all of a sudden blue mana sources are looking a lot better, though. Mm-hmm. Kind of happy just having him do this. He's trying to get it up so that it can get through the parapet. But then hopefully we'll find blue and I can just Sultai Charm, or I can even just put Debilitating Injury on it if I'm not worried about it and just make him spend 2 more turns, in which case he kind of just dies. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, weave away. Yeah, if we don't draw blue or mana at some point here, this actually doesn't... I mean, he's got 7 cards in it. I guess we do too, but... Like, come on, deck. You got to do something for me here. Siegecraft. Yes, you've made a Siegecraft. Singing Bell Strike. All right, so he's in business. And we need to find blue mana pronto. If we do, I think we're in like super good driver's seat here, but all right, black mana is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 3 more there. We're 1 mana away from being able to incremental growth. Blue mana, yeah, just kind of wins us on the spot. We can Sultai Charm to kill that. We can put it back. I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a desperation play here, though, and just reduce our clock significantly with Debilitating Injury. And just hope to find that mana. That's plan A. We have definitely been unlucky with our draw here. I feel safe to say that. I mean, our mana's not great, don't get me wrong, but we haven't even gotten enough. Let alone going blue card, blue card, blue card. All right, so we hit a blue mana here, but still can't actually cast anything currently. Though I guess that's not entirely true. I can incremental growth if I want. I would have to put 1 on here, though. That's pretty stupid. Yeah, let's just not do that. What I'm hoping he doesn't have is a fistful of counter spells. That would be the most annoying. Yeah, we're taking that hit. Man. He's targeting us. This does not kill us, though. Puts us to 1. I mean, we can just kill him. I don't know what he can have. What costs 2 mana? God, I've looked at this set enough. I don't think there's anything. I'm going for it. If I get punished for not knowing the set, then shame on me for not for not remembering. He kind of has to have something here, right? Like this was on the board. He's got some. What is it? Okay, he's got a rare. All right, fair enough. I am not good enough to play around that yet. That is for sure. But yeah, that draw, like, that draw, that just makes me very unhappy. That was not, I don't think that was a typical draw. I don't think that will typify how the game plays out going forward. And I'm pretty mad that we have to lose with 100 cards in our hand against that. All right, so let's take out the parapet. I want to get aggressive. I want to beat this guy down. Set Adrift is actually quite good against him. Let's do that. Okay. I think Grizzly's just really good against him. Mm-hmm. Is this going to be the parade of blue cards again? Let's hope not. The Grizz Dad. Yep. Got to do it. His removal is very annoying, though, because he's supposed to kill this so that we can cast our Hooting Mandrills now. But instead, it sits on the battlefield. The good news is, well, we do get to untap it at some point, too, so that's nice. Hexproof Prowess Whirlwind Adept. Unsure what to think about that one. But I think I like where our line's going here. Can play Teamer Charger face up, and then incremental growth my squad. Put like 1 counter here, 3 here, 2 here probably. And then try to race him because I think he's going to attack here. And I think I kind of just want to race. Yeah, he is attacking. Mm-hmm. Cancel? If he cancels, I get to scavenger anyway. Oh, this is great. Yeah, this actually works out fine. Because Scavenger does a good job blocking Horde Chief and Warrior. I'll take a hit from Whirlwind Adept, and then I get to incremental growth, like 1, 3/2 probably, and make 2 6/6s, one with trample, one with flying. And then if I don't draw blue mana or a spell, I get to just spend my mana on tapping this guy again. Oh. All right. I'll cancel that order. Now I need to draw a creature. If I draw a cheap creature, I'm in good shape. If I don't, I'm in medium shape, I would say. Oh. That's pretty good. It's not great. Yeah. Okay, I give up. Just have to ship it back here. I need to be able to block. And injury can't hit this guy anyway. And I don't think injuring either of these really does what I want it to do. This is a tough spot. Yeah, he's just going to Master of the Way, hit me. And then he's got that thing again. Jeez, nasty. Let me see his... Oh, it gets me to 3. Just going to untap this one, I think, and block here. But it does feel like I'm going to die here. Doesn't it? Yeah, I think he's just got some burn spell. He's got another Arrow Storm or another Master of the Way in his hand, and we're just going to die. Ah, that stinks. Just going to pass a turn here, though. I've got enough mana to untap here. I don't think going to 1 and the difference between 1 and 2 I don't think matters. Bondkin, sure. I guess there is a chance I can win here, though, if he's just sort of all in. Oh, gosh, he actually is. Wow. Okay, let's go to 2. I don't think that matters, but let's do that. Let's injure this Bondkin. It does matter, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I'm going to battle here, actually. Because I feel like I need to kill this guy ASAP. Oh, he's got Deflecting Palm. All right, so... yeah, that 1 life actually matters huge. Because what I have to do here is... kill this. Which is super lame. I mean, this is just like, ugh. But it means that he's out of cards. So if I draw a creature or a removal spell, I can actually win this. I can actually stabilize here. So this could have won us the game, although it looks like it did not. All right, so we lose. Ugh. Yuck. So close. I think that's how it's going to feel against Jeskai. But like I said, we get to play 3 matches, so we'll see you in the next one.
Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any MTGOacademy.com page.
All right, so here we are in the second round, and I think we do want to play first with this deck. And we've got all of our colors. We'll keep... This is nice. So let's make a parapet here. Oh, embodiment of spring. I like where you're going with this, buddy. Looks like we've got the Sultai mirror, so I was perhaps wrong about us being the only one in Sultai. But I think we have the tools to win the long game. Right, looks like he wants to just fix his mana for a turn here. Yeah, I guess we can battle. He's got kind of a free block here, but I don't anticipate getting cracked back on and really care if he does anything else. So, yeah, all right. I don't feel like killing Embodiment of Spring when he can just sack it anyway. It looks like he doesn't want to sack it, so that's interesting. Still nothing? Yeah, well, we've got plays. Oh, that's a nice one. Still just going to keep attacking. Cashing it in now. Yeah, there he goes. All right, so what do you got? I want to know what you've been saving up for here, because our next turn looks pretty good. We get to unflip this and attack for 9. It's pretty good. White. Yeah, I'm more likely to just jam our mana into this morph if he's going to try to maybe splash for like a Dune Blast or something like that. Could also just be the Armament Core or something along those lines. But yeah, there it is, Armament Core. Armament Core does not match up well with what we're doing, unfortunately for him. Because we're going to have a 6/7 that's bigger, and we have a Death Toucher that I'll trade for an Armament Core all day. I think this is the only morph that like actually tussles with that 6/6 well, so he's going to have a tough time calling me on it. Oh, he didn't do it. Did save him, or actually, let's rethink this. Maybe I just want the Scavenger. Maybe I just say, sure, take 4, keep developing my board here. Having him take 8 pretty nice, though, and having just a bigger threat on the battlefield. Yeah, I'm just actually just going to flip here. If he's not willing to block it, then he's going to try to double block it later or whatever. I still get to use up all my mana for the turn. Gets in 4 extra damage right now. He's got something sweet. Doom Blast, is that what it is? He's only got 6 mana up, but he's got 6 cards in hand. Hasn't played a land yet. What is it? What's the big payoff? Seek the Horizon. Okay. Island, Swamp. So he's got cancel and 5 mana here. Or 7 cards in hand, I mean. All right, well, we didn't draw anything anyway. Take 9. Kill you in a turn. I'm not going to cast anything here. I'd rather just parapet, untap parapet if he's going to let me. So he needs to kill the parapet here. He needs to do a heck of a lot here. If I run scavenger into cancel, I don't get to parapet, so I don't get to threaten on 2 different axes. I think it's better to do that. Clever boy. Yeah. Make your own Loxodon, I guess. Could make another armor. Oh, an Arrow of the Wilds? But that doesn't do what you want it to do. It should be game. Okay. We did it. I don't know what we did, but we did it. Tendons. Looks decent against him. Saddle Brute does too. He just wasn't really putting much pressure on us. I think I kind of like the balance of the deck how we have it though. Let's just run it back. Let's see. Cruise, Grizzlies, Mandrills. Yeah, sure. Oh, you're the one that took them all. We had a shot at a couple. Right, that guy. Our draws continue to not impress here. We've drawn 2 spells so far, and they're both black after keeping a hand that was all blue and green with blue and green mana. So that's not amazing. Bitter Revelation, okay. I was kind of hoping it was the discard spell so I could get some value, but all right. Yeah, I'm trading. Pretty sure he'll trade here. This sets up Mandrills for next turn. All right, so I guess he takes Mandrills. He could be scared of Necropolis Fiend down the road, but looking at my hand and seeing that I'm just so far away from being able to cast it, I think you just take the card I can actually cast. I mean, look, if he has no pressure on me and he's worried about like the long game, he could consider otherwise. Yeah, he takes some Mandrills. I don't blame him. We're going to treasure cruise into stuff, though. Wow, this guy's just valuing out. Oh, baby. And we even find a swamp. Let's see. So what can we do here? Play a swamp. I can treasure cruise. I think I can just scavenger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got... This is interesting. Because I need to preserve something for treasure cruise. I want to be able to cast that. And of course for Necropolis Fiend too. But I can... Necropolis Fiend I can cast later. Like I'm not that worried about that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it leaves 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can just tap out for Treasure Cruise if I need to next turn. Okay, that was a good turn. Found half of this card, got this thing on the battlefield, and set up Treasure Cruise as well. So I'm pretty happy with that result. Throttle, all right. So let's just tap out here. All right, so we see Ascendancy, Swamp, Incremental Growth, but we've managed to maintain all of our mana here, so good. Incremental Growth looks a little awkward with this draw, but I think it's still okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 for a Mandrills of his own. But he's left up all this mana. What is he going to do with that? Nothing so far. All right. Obviously, it's tempting to just go for an Necropolis Fiend here, but he certainly is representing a counterspell. What are my other lines of play? Play a Sultai Ascendancy. I don't think it's really getting any better, so let's go for that. I do feel like it's going to get countered here, though, but oh, it doesn't. Sweet. I wonder why he used up all of his graveyard like that. Maybe he'll do something now. There it is. No, it's just that. He only needed 2 mana for that, so he's still got 4 extra mana. Maybe he wants to Inspiration? No, nothing. That was interesting. Well, we've got a nice engine here with Ascendancy Necropolis Fiend to sort of take over the game from here. But he's got 4 cards in hand and infinite mana of all different colors, so I don't feel comfortable at all. I don't feel like we're just, oh, he's going to copy it. And he's got more cards. Yeah, he's definitely going to copy it. So we need to get some cards in our yard pronto. If I can, then I can kill his Necropolis Fiend before he can kill mine. Ascendancy will get that done to a point. And a morph. No attack. All right. I could play my Woolly Loxodon, kill it. Doesn't seem great though, does it? I feel like debilitating injuring this morph while it's face down. That does put 4 cards in the yard for him. Maybe I can do that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that doesn't actually work out. It's still a pretty nice turn though, but if he manages to get 2 more cards, or I put a morph in his graveyard, and if he gets 1 more card in his yard, then he can actually Necropolis Fiend away my Necropolis Fiend. And then I'm in a really bad spot. So I think getting Sultai Ascendancy down is key here. And I think I'm just going to have to let his morph survive. I don't think I can help him along the way here. And I'm just going to have to take a hit here. Because next turn I can probably get him. This is tricky. Necropolis Fiend Mirror is interesting. Needs to get 2 more cards in his yard. dead drop? Wow, that is so brutal. And I don't have 2 cards to even kill the morph either, so we just take 10 here. Yeah, well, hopefully Sultai Ascendancy finds us something, because that was nasty. That's really good against us. Because our deck's pretty slow and kind of doesn't have like, you know, it's not like a token deck or whatever. He doesn't attack with this? Does do 2 damage, you know. All right, so Ascendancy says, set adrift and forest. We definitely don't want forest. Do we want set adrift? I'm going to kill the morph. And then I'm going to set adrift that. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, darn it. I misclicked. I thought it was going to say to put on top. Ugh. New cards. Yeah, setting adrift the Necropolis Fiend makes him turn it into a Mandrills, which doesn't get us out of this, but it's better than a Necropolis Fiend. Ugh, that sucks. Ruth, all right. Man, might as well play the land too. All right, Sultai Ascendancy. You found us something decent, but I decided to reject that. So now find us something decent again while I take huge chunks of damage. Why isn't he attacking? I'm not complaining, but should attack with that. All right, so what do we want? Sultai Charm would be great. Teamer Charger, no. Graveyard, Graveyard, Island. Yeah. Your move. Now what? Jeez. Not a bad draw. And we're dead. All right, well, I know what our game plan is here. Come on, you have lethal. Attack with everything. Making me mad. Just kill me. What's that morph so precious for? I mean, I don't have any outs, but he doesn't know that. Graveyard, Graveyard. And we draw Forest. Well, pass the turn back and see if he kills me. Still not going to attack with that morph. All right. All right, so let's change the let's flip the script here. We are going to be aggressive. I think his deck is clunky. He's got all the colors and stuff, but I think that like we have this sort of angle on our deck where we're like, well, oh, it was 1,000 wins. That's why he didn't want to reveal it. So we're trying to be sort of this like grindy-ish, you know, like we can do some things early, but we're trying to, you know, like play Sultai Ascendancy and kind of get ahead and do that kind of thing. And I think what I want to do is go away from that here and beat down instead. I want to make some of his cards worse, and I want to just trounce him. So injury, Parapet still seems decent. Do we have another Highland game? Yes. We're going to go to a much smoother deck. I think I'm just going to cut blue altogether. Maybe I'll leave the Sultai Charm in. It is excellent against him, but I can cut an island for a swamp here. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I can cut a land. Maybe I'll go like that. 2 blue sources for 1 Sultai Charm. If we hit it, we hit it. Can live with it if we don't. And then I need to make 2 cuts here. Like all of these cards. I cut 1 Highland game. But I don't want to cut any more creatures than that. Actually, maybe we just do this. I like this better. And then I didn't pay attention to the clock. Well, this is just going beautifully. Would I like to play first? Yeah, actually I would. Yeah, this looks like a keep to me. I mean, our deck's fine. It's not, I just think that was a better version against him where we just sort of like bring the beat down, you know, instead of fussing around with trying to get cute with ascendancies and stuff. I don't think this is the matchup that we want that for. But here we are. Because I didn't pay attention to the clock enough and because I had to check something before I started sideboarding. Grizzly. Parapet's good against him. Injury should be pretty good against him too. 1,000 wins and such. Wind Scout. Wind Scout down. Mainly because I don't want to trade. Also because those things can get in for big chunks of damage. And this way I get Hooting Mandrills next turn too. So it's all part of the plan. Definitely going to attack into that morph. Unless we draw another debilitating injury, which we didn't. Battle. All right, it's not 1,000 wins. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll take it. He decided to show us a card from his hand to flip it, even though he just would have traded anyway. Oops, I forgot to tap a mana. Wow, this is just getting silly at this point, but it's actually not too bad. That didn't cost us anything except for a card in the yard, but you never know when that matters. Okay. This is a good time to draw a card like that. Do I want to trade? No. No, I don't want to trade. I think it only helps him. And since we are on the blue version of our deck, we have a few other things that can kill that. Bitter Revelation. Look at the top 4. Take some life. Okay. I like it. We need to find some heat. We need some action. We got plenty of mana. We can cast anything in our deck. I think we've got 3, 6, 7, 8. We can cast anything except for... Actually, and with Ascendancy, we can cast anything in our deck. So all we want is big punch power spells now. And just get rid of lands. And the Ascendancy does a good job of that. This is maybe a Mandrills of his own. Yeah. Okay, what do we got? Set Adrift and a Forest. So Forest is going to hit the graveyard for sure. I guess we set Adrift here. What does it really do, though? The fact that it's a sorcery just makes it so awkward here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to bin it. This doesn't get us anywhere here. Just going to cast this and say go. We're basically digging for incremental growth. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a Mandrills. This gives us a little bit more dead drop protection. I mean, is it our dream card? No. But it is one of our more powerful spells, so I'm not going to turn it down. It also trades with Obzon Guide as a backup plan. Oh, it did at least. I don't think he really has an attack here anyway. He's been laying some haymakers down, though. We're barely keeping up even with our ascendancy, but I think we're one, Treasure Cruise or Fiend or whatever away from pulling ahead. Hopefully. Scout the borders. I think we can keep that, actually. Necropolis Fiend. All right, well, we don't get to hurt him this turn with our parapet, but if we get to untap, it's going to get ugly for him. We can start mowing down his team, starting with this, which we don't have. Well, we'll have just enough, but he's got to have a way to kill this, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. He's drawn a card. This could be good for us. Yeah, this is good for us. Yeah, we're at 19, so we're fine. And I think he's going to have to just jam that Abzan Guide in here and trade it off for a Mandrills. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, lovely. Flare and Highland Game. Definitely putting this one in the graveyard. Do we want a Flare, though? That's pretty good. I think I'm going to keep the Flare. So I need to be able to pay 6, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I only have 2 left over. Yeah, maybe keeping Flare wasn't smart. I'm taking 1 turn from attacking with this off so that I can kill the Obzon Guide, because if my thing dies, then it just gets me anyway. Yeah, all right, well. He ended up in the yard anyway. He's got something. Maybe he can pump it up at instant speed. I could have done it for 7, but I wanted a parapet as well. He can do the +1/+1. Oh, he's just sacking it. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. It's also much better than much better for us than him having an actual spell there. Incremental growth. Put that in the graveyard. Put this on top. I think this will put us over the top here as well. So what do I want to do here? I want to be able to really just run him over. So I think the Mandrills get the 2 biggest, and then the Necropolis Fiend gets the small. And then I think I just jam the Mandrills here. So I can also make the team. No, the Teamer Charger still just ends up trading there. So 1, 2, 3. These both have trample. This just puts him in a terrible spot. Trying to decide what I want to do with the Fiend, because I can also just keep it back and use 3 mana to shrink something too. So I think I'm just going to do that and just manage the board. I guess I just kill him in the air though. Yeah, nah, screw that. Let's just battle. If this thing gets kill shotted now, it's not as big of a deal. He's going to gain some life from his guys dying on the ground, but I think we'll just kill him next turn. Oh, that works out well. This actually, but they just die. Still would rather kill them. Come on, move over. Why want to let me? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I wanted to kill this thing because this is one of the ways he can get himself back in the game. Go ahead. Too late. Saying GG. And we got there. All right. So even though I ended up running our game 1 deck when I was actually planning on playing a different version, we were able to put together the pieces and find a win. So we're 1-1. We got 1 more match to go. Let's see what happens.
If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
All right, here we are in the 3rd round. Hey, here's a draw. Look at all this action. All of our colors, scout the borders, got a morph. Even a pseudo removal spell here. I like it. That's a keep. I think our original, our blue build is more powerful rawly, but I don't think it's going to end up being as consistent as our secondary green-black build that I had kind of thrown together and then didn't quite get to play with. But we'll keep that one in mind depending on what our opponent's up to. It looks like our opponent's on... well, I'm not really sure yet, actually, what our opponent's on. But hopefully I won't care. Enoch Bonkin... could get in for some beats here, but probably is going to end up picking up an Outlast counter at some point and then getting shipped away. Could also just kill it. Sometimes just killing it is a good option. But I think with Sultai Charm, with the level of power that card has, I don't think it's going to be our first option. Oh, this is lovely. Yes, yes, yes. Do that. Dump a bunch of mana into your Outlast thing so that my Set Adrift is just like infinitely better. Oh, are you missing a land drop? Is that what's happening? Is this your only option, maybe? That could be. That does happen sometimes, which is also good for us, but... Oh, yeah, that looks like what's that? Oh, no, there's a Bloodfell Caves. All right, so everything's clear over there. It's actually interesting. Could actually just scout the borders and then Hooting Mandrills. Set Adrift the next turn. The next, Yeah, I think what I want to do here is, I think I want to go with the Loxodon here. And then I'll probably scout the borders, Hooting Mandrills. I can actually do both next turn, I think. Let's see. Look at the top 5. So 5. Yeah, I can do both. No block. How? Well, that makes the Hooting Mandrills plan a lot worse. But I do think it is still the play. All right, so we can get a Swamp, a Sultai Scavenger, a Debilitating Injury, which could be quite good. We've already played our land, so we're not missing a land drop, though we don't have double black yet for our Necropolis Fiend. We got everything else. I guess we could just take a Dismal Backwater if we're going to take a land here. Can't take the injury, right? We can only take creatures and lands. Yeah, so it's got to be either the Dismal Backwater or probably the Scavenger. With 3 Delve cards in hand, though, I think that we're going to take the Backwater here. Maybe just another big Woolly Loxodon is what we want. Let's just hit those land drops. Okay. I like the Mandrill's play here anyway. Yeah, it doesn't let us attack, and that's a little bit annoying. But it does hold off the Enoch Bonkin. So that's pretty decent. Outlast. And he's probably tempted to go ahead and fire off the Bonkin here, too. He does take a big chunk of damage, but that thing's not really getting any better. I'm going to attack it. It's actually an interesting spot for him. I wonder if he wanted to actually Salt Road Patrol Outlast here. I think there's a world where he didn't. Oh, wow. There's a little blue down here. It's got all of our colors too. Maybe he just went a lot deeper than it seems. I mean, with these 2 starts, they're fine cards, but they're not exactly going deep cards. They're not the big powerhouses. It's kind of interesting. Ooh, Ponyback Brigade. I'm glad he didn't take that. That card's pretty tough for us. Okay, well, I guess we get in for a hit here. And then we're pretty forced to use our Sultai Charm this turn if we really want to use it, because we're going to be windmilling Hooting Mandrills and Set Adrift in the following turn. So, and we're also going to be doing this possibly as early as next turn. We could just make a 6/7, which, you know, it gets through that. Let's see how he wants to attack. He may just attack with the Enoch Bondkin. No, he's jamming with both. I think I'm going to kill this one. And no, I'm going to kill the Bondkin. It gives other things first strike, which is annoying, and then I can set adrift this, and it's much more punishing because it costs 4 mana just to get going. I'm a little annoyed by it just because of the way it interacts with Hooting Mandrills, blocking it basically. What are you going to do? Murderous Cut something? Let's see, black mana. Ah, Scavenger, sure. And a morph. Alright, so not a bad turn for our buddy there. Not bad at all. But I think we can just fight here. I think I'll do it this way. He's a risk taker. We'll see how it turns out for us, because I'm going for it. He's only got 2 mana up, and we have a chance to get a 2 for 0 here. Wow, 2 for 0 achieved. I mean, it was a lot of mana, but hallelujah, that's fantastic. And it sets up Set Adrift on this thing, because he's going to leave it back now to block, and then we just bash him. Oh, no, maybe I'm wrong. He's going to play Ifrit Weapon Master, which has first strike. He can get me for 5 here. Still doesn't really get him where he needs to go. It does give him 2 blockers for Mandrills and makes my Set Adrift a lot worse, though. It does do that. Magic Online. Yes, it is. Oh. Oh, well, that changes things a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. Let's just cast him. Actually, I shouldn't have done it that way. I'm still, I think, going to offer this trade. Yes, in fact, I have to. Because if I trade off the Woolly Loxodon for the Ifrit Weapon Master, then theoretically the Mandrills can get in. I should have attacked first just to bluff something, but that's okay. All right, right, so let's kill the weapon guy. There we go. And then the turn that we're going to do, if we can figure it out mana-wise, is pretty sweet. Ideally, incremental growthing for 3, 2, 1, and then setting this thing adrift. And just putting him in a big, big hole. Yep. That is a morph. All right, so what do we got here? I pay 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that puts 3 cards in the yard plus 1, 2, 3, so it actually works out just fine. And the sweet part is this is lethal, so he actually has to jump block. Man, he doesn't bother. It was Kintree Warden. No, that's not a very good one anyway. And he knew what he was going to draw, so he scooped. Okay, I think I like this build as opposed to the other one that I was going to try out. The question is, do we want Death Frenzy? Saw Ponyback Brigade. Saw some morphs. Saw an Enoch Bondkin, but also saw the 2/4. I'm willing to try it out. Let's cut 1 growth and try a Death Frenzy. I'm going to send this one back. Just having the 2 blue-black cards with no is pretty raw. We can cast some spells with that hand, but not enough. All right, this is a little better. Yeah, this is definitely a keep, actually, because the Scout the Borders can find the lands, and we've got Heir of the Wilds to kind of lock things down. And if we get lucky and hit black, we can Sultai Ascendancy real early in the game, and that's where it really shines. That's where you want to hit it. Turn 3 Ascendancy is nice. So, well, not yet. Let's play an Heir, though. One more shot at turn 3 Ascendancy, but even not. Scout the Borders will find us our black mana either immediately or get us close to it. Zmorph, yep. Fiend, all right. I'm going to attack. Because getting stuff in our yard helps us out a lot more. And I think he knows that. So I don't think he's going to block. Scout some borders, scavenger, launch shot. All right, we'll just take the swamp, which we can't play yet. All right, your move. So our hand's awkward right now. No doubt about that. Yeah, I got to do it. I really just wanted it. I mean, trust me, I really, really, really choose a creature to enchant this. Whoa. Hold on a sec. All right, I don't know what happened there, but we killed a Ponyback Brigade. Very nice. Explains why I didn't want to block, and it's also the reason why I made that play. Because I obviously would rather have just gotten Ascendancy down and started doing my thing, but when you let people get to 5 mana in this format, that's when these type of things can start happening, and Ponyback Brigade's a big pain, so I like where we went there. If we find a black source, we're just going to windmill Necropolis Fiend. If we don't, then yeah, we'll just play an Ascendancy. Okay. That's pretty good here. I won't lie. Ooh, got there. Target creature can't. Is it May? All right, well, he could let me block, but he won't. This gets one more damage in with Heir of the Wilds, and it does feel like we're entering race stage here, so that Mardu guy, he's going to live a little bit here, so I'm trying to prepare for a race. Didn't want to block anyway, buddy. Ugh, take 5 though, that hurts. And Aerostorm to take down the Fiend. Okay, well, let's fight, because we're not getting to block with him anyway. And you can see where our game plan's going here. Trying to find a creature, a cheap creature, and then we can incremental growth and kind of put him in a bad spot. He's going to let me block with my Highland game, but I refuse. If we lose to this card, we lose to this card. I can accept that as an outcome. Oh, God, that's brutal. Well, incremental growth is getting worse by the minute. Okay, this has been a pretty nasty curve out from him. His mana looks ugly. We are quite dead here, though. Ooh, what does this do? Oh, it just kills a morph. I guess I could... Nah, he just wouldn't block. You know, this is just going in the yard. Injury. Injury, we take 7. Well, at least I get to see what it is. It was lethal. Yeah, we're just dead. Brave the Sands. Creatures you control have vigilance. Each creature you control can block an additional creature. I don't think that's a very good card. But it should get the job done here. The woolliest of Loxodons is sadly not good enough here. We play it. God, it would have been good a turn ago. We play it. He makes this not be able to block. We'll make him do it. No, we can't even play it face up anyway. All he has to do is jam with both creatures and we lose. Oh, actually, I want to see who he makes not be able to block it. It should be this. Right. Do I want to try to punish his bad mana? No. No, I don't. Still try Death Frenzy, I guess. It wasn't good there. And maybe it's just not good. Maybe it's just not good against him, but I want to find out. This is first day that this thing's legal on Magic Online. So I think that it's worth a little bit of potentially sacrificing value to try to find out what's good and what's not. Yes, I'm going to keep it. Obviously, it needs green mana, but we've got, 9 sources or something. We're a pretty big favorite to hit it at some point. And his deck actually isn't that fast. Plus, I feel like we can recover, from a fast start with this. Ooh, geez. God. Both of them? What is with these people? This is the second time. I've only done 2 drafts so far, and each time I've played an opponent that had both of those. Just the morph package. And here he goes, just going off. Well, I think 1/3 of our deck are forests now, so we're 0 for 3 so far, and 2 green cards as well. But we're not dead. Not a morph, not a morph, not a morph. All right, well, it's not that good either for us. Yeah, that's really annoying. Gets his morphs out of Death Frenzy range. Boo, 3 green cards in a row, or 4 green cards in a row. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess 1 land and green cards. That's a bummer. He's got a pretty potent start here, too. He went 1, 2, 3. Used all his mana up on 4 as well. See if he can use it all up on 5. Like, if he plays a morph here, how ridiculous of a draw is this for him? All right, well. Maybe we get to live 1 more turn? Taking it. What is this nonsense? Oh. Then we die. All right. So not much of a game there. Sorry about that. I was hoping to obviously hit a forest in the first 5 turns or whatever, and we didn't. So our hand kind of died, especially because we drew all green spells. But I think we got a reasonable look at what Sultai can do. I mean, this was sort of in the middle type Sultai deck, not like fully into the delve stuff. I still think I'm not willing to run a Taigam Scheming happily. But the Scout the Border seemed pretty good. The Ascendancy did what the Ascendancy did. It kind of won us a game. It also lost us a game because we couldn't cast it. Our mana wasn't very good, so that was an issue too. Interesting deck, though, and certainly one I'm going to be exploring more of. So that's going to do it for this week. We'll probably have another from the same event next week as well, just to keep getting the Cons of Tarkir going. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm Marshall_LR. You know how to join the clan after watching the video, and for all things limited resources, lrcast.com. See you guys.